Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. Good times with Scar here, and welcome back to the wonderful worlds of hermits and crafting. And in today's episode, we are going to make, once again, another custom biome here on the server. Our last custom biome, of course, was Wells Knight's Dwarven Throne Room, where we built the crystal cave looking absolutely beautiful. But in today's episode, we are going to make geyser fields. That's right. This entire section in front of you will be terraformed into some absolutely beautiful Yellowstone inspired. I'm so excited about this because I really think we're going to do something very different and very cool, which will attach almost in theory as a sub biome to Cub fans' wonderful and incredibly designed lava fields out here, dried lava. So taking a quick stop here, looking out at our brand new bridge. Look at that thing. That's what we built in our last episode. It's just a massive structure. It took all day, but I'm really pleased with the way it has come out and really sets up our train station very well. On stream, we're gonna destroy the back end of it right here because the lava's kind of washed it away. So I think that's gonna be really nice, but this is it. This is where we're going to transform this whole area into a Yellowstone-inspired kind of geological wonderland, right? Doesn't that sound amazing? That's really trying to think outside the block, as Alex coined in the previous live stream, we're really trying to think outside the block with these designs. And if you guys want to think outside the block with me, hit that like button and let's get into it. So let's fly into our storage room here. And I got to show you this because I'm slightly apprehensive about this because this is going to be the primary block throughout this entire design. Oh, wrong box. There it is. This is the bone block. That is right. We are going to create an entire field full of bone blocks, which is kind of like that calcium. It's all that like whitish crumbling stuff that you find in Yellowstone around all the geological, formations and geysers and pools and things of that nature. And the reason why I think the bone block is the right block to use, let's walk over here. See, these are my choices. We've got the white clay, we got the end stone, and we got the bone block. What would you choose in this? I chose the bone block. What would you have chosen? Would you have chose the clay, the end stone, or the bone block? In the comments, let me know. I would like to hear maybe if I've gone awry and I'm going in the wrong direction, if you guys think one of those would have been better. Now, what I like about the end stone is that it's very kind of crumbly like, but the yellow is what's a turnoff on this particular one. And then this particular clay block, now it looks nice in a lot of circumstances, but it's very pink when you look at it next to, say, quartz or the bone block. It's like, wow, that is really actually very pink. So yeah, what would you have chose? Did I choose the right one? I don't know. I think I did. I think I made the right choice because of the such, complex nature of the bone block. So much texture, so much, color difference here and there, which I think will make it look really nice. But we've got to go get some supplies because we need some quartz. We need some glass for the geysers. That's right. We're going to be using glass for the geysers. So let's head to the Brown District. And our first stop here is at Biffa's shop. So let's take a look in here and see who has the best prices. Vintage beef or Biffa. Now let's see. Nether quartz, 3 diamonds per stack. I don't think that's blocks. I think that's like the shards, right? Whoa, that's a lot of diamonds. Whoa, that's a lot. That's a lot of diamonds right there. Oh, wait, you got nothing. Coming soon, coming soon. Oh, wait, there is stuff in here. What is this? Nether brick. Nobody's got any time for nether brick. What? Okay, hopefully, please. Vintage of beef. Please tell me you have quartz in stock. I am just looking to you, man of beef and wonderful beards and all of those beautiful things. Please tell me you have the quartz. Please tell me. Here we go. It doesn't look good. Nope, doesn't look good. How much was he selling these? 3 stacks. Please don't tell me I have to go to the nether. I think I may have quartz somewhere, but first I need to stop here at Ren's Glass Shop and buy some glass for our water spouts, because using standard water up in the air just looks incredibly ugly. I've done extensive testing. Now this is one thing I'm sure of, and I don't even need to put this in for a vote because using water for this particular design would look incredibly ugly. So that is 3 diamonds for 3 stacks of white stained glass. Beautiful. Okay, what is this? Is this light blue? Oh, this is just what we need. It's just a little light blue. Oh, no, 20 diamonds. Give me that back. There we go. So I'm only going to grab a stack of those because I do have some back at my base. Wherever I build on the server outside of my base, you can always find one of my little underground bunkers here where you can go down and just find a ridiculous amount of lost supplies. That's right. There's just good stuff here, and I just lose it all. Look at this. This is great. I'm actually going to take all of these bones because I could use as many of those as possible. But yeah, look at this. This is great. There's just so much stuff in here. There's enchanted tools, and after I finish a project, I kind of forget about it. But I am pretty sure I had quartz here because of a build that I never did. Is that it? No, that's iron. That's iron again. I don't think I've checked these boxes. Oh. Just the white got me excited. Oh, no, there they are. Oh, that's so much and so much beautifulness. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, and so much bones too. Look at that. Oh, this is great. This is way, way, way more than I could have asked for, especially the bones too, because if I AFK in any of the, the spawners around here anymore, I will go completely insane. Oh, that's so good. This might seem so strange, but every time I'm about to do a landscape, I just get so apprehensive about starting because I'm always just petrified that I'm just going to fail. And when you do a landscape, it's not something like a little building you can just tear back down. Like a landscape's like really a permanent thing. Like it's difficult to completely reverse it. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I just spent like 20 minutes just kind of like, maybe I'm going to start. Am I going to do something different? But then I'm like, no, I'm not going to let that stop me. Not going to let it stop me. Not going to let failure get in my way of trying something different. And I think that's always the problem of trying something different. Always is the feeling of like utter failure. And I think it's a little worse in the case of me uploading that said thing then to YouTube, but I'm confident. I've done some crazy things before, and I think this one is going to be pretty cool. So what we're working on here is the geyser. So this little marker right here is kind of what I'm going to represent as my major geyser. Now down here, I thought this would be a perfect spot for another hot spring. So we're going to build up a nice hot spring in that area. And then back here, that's the major hot spring. It's going to go back here, and it's going to be themed towards the grand prismatic spring at Yellowstone. I think it's going to be really cool. And this is going to be like a really nice kind of bank that kind of flows off of the geyser here. And I think this would be cool. And I think the best part about it is how we're going to incorporate the geysers using stained glass and how that's going to give us way more detail, like color combinations than just bringing up an actual Minecraft, water spring. Now with the bone block, do you see this bone block here? See all the ways of kind of, diverting kind of the grain of it in different ways. And I think that's its plus, and it's real strength in this aspect of what we're doing. Plus the open section right here is going to allow us to use that kind of on the sides and then maybe even cover up a piece. So yeah, it's a lot of trial and error to really figure this out, and where we can do extra little details, say smooth it out and all of those things. And I think this is such an important thing in Minecraft to do where you can is find little spots to smooth out. See, by incorporating a little bit of quartz here, you get an extra little splash of extra color. Actually, it's more of a diffusion of color, if you will. And it just softens out the landscape a little bit. So I think that looks really cool. This looks so silly, but like I said before, I'm confident. I'm confident that this is going to be cool. It'll just take us a little while to get to a point where we're very satisfied. So right here is where I want to start with the spout. And I'm actually going to move this over a little bit. I'm actually going to take this, I'm going to cut this piece out, and I'm going to do, how are we going to do this? Let's do it right here. We're going to do it right here. So this is going to be the physical spout of the actual geyser right here. So I think this will be good. Let me work this around just a little more. Making some progress on our spout. Now, the hardest part of this entire project is going to start now. And that's actually, wait, I can't make it up here. There we go. Is making the geyser stream. Now, this is going to require a lot of trial and error. Trying to make this feel natural and right. So we're going to start to kind of build up a stream coming out of the top. Now, when you search, geysers in Yellowstone, things of that nature, if you do that, I hope you do, because you can kind of see what we're trying to work towards is, you get a very kind of whitish, plume that comes out. Now, the stuff that's kind of flowing off to the sides gets a little bit grayer. Now, I also would like to mix in just a little bit of blue if we can. I think that would actually look nice. Now, the question is, how high do we make this particular design? So I think that's definitely a challenge. We're gonna have to do quite a bit of thinking in terms of how high the actual stream is going to go. The question now is, can I actually land like a pro on top of this block? Oh, that was so close. So very close right there. I think that's a decent height. What we're gonna do from here is, this is the main kind of plume coming out. We're going to start kind of pushing off some of the water spray at the top, which is being caught by the winds and being, sent off into whatever direction the wind's blowing. So I think that's our next step. And to do that, we're gonna require some heavy scaffolding and potentially my camera count also. And there's the progress so far on the water spout of the geyser. And I think it is starting to look fairly good. Now, places where we need to improve is maybe start to add some panes. Now, I tried to stick a couple blue panes in there, but haven't really found the right kind of direction for them. Also, the gray we talked about. I'm considering going in the interior and kind of sculpting the gray into there, but for the most part, that is the kind of objective we've got. Looking at some pictures of geysers, I think we're getting fairly close to what we're trying to achieve, at least here in the Minecraft. I'm gonna take a little break from the geyser. I think it's starting to look pretty good, but it definitely needs some more work. And I think with a set of fresh eyes, after working on something different for a bit, next thing we're going to do here is we're going to start kind of cutting out this area and start making one of our geyser pools. So these are the hot springs that are around the geysers. Now I'm kind of taking a bit of inspiration from the, let's see, what am I thinking here? It's the, what is it? The Midway Geyser Basin. That's what it is, the Midway Geyser Basin. That's where I'm trying to think of using some of those pools for inspiration for this. So you've got the Grand Prismatic Spring, which is like incredible, and that's gonna go on the other side. This is more maybe like Opal Pool. I think this one's gonna be more like Opal Pool. So I think this one's gonna look pretty darn awesome. Once we get the red installed here, as you can see, we're kind of bringing down the red, maybe even mixing down a little bit of the white from here. So it looks like, it's all part of the same thing. See how it's kind of coming down a little bit? It's all about trying to make this all feel kind of cohesive. So let's see here. I'm just going to do this back section first. One thing I've found looking at a lot of pictures is that the red and the orange and the yellow. So we did that quite prominent in the other one over by the sawmill, but whereas these pools, that is a very small portion of it. Most of it is that aqua color in the center. So that's what I'm going to really focus on, is getting the very little kind of orange and red and yellow. So I'm just going to kind of transition now down into orange, but the vast majority, like 80% of this, I hope to kind of get it to a point where it's mostly of that turquoise color. All right, so this looks terrible, but believe me, I think I've come up with the perfect solution. So I didn't want to go down another level to kind of separate the yellow and orange so they weren't connected. So what I've come up with is actually using carpets along here. So it gives it that just sliver extra bit of depth along there. And I think that is gonna look really cool. Now, once we get to the bigger pool, I think it'll be a little bit easier to do what we wanna do. So, all right, so we got that point built up. I know this orange and that kind of purplish blue, I know, but I'm gonna get to there, don't worry. So the next thing I'm going to do actually is I'm gonna just lay down, I think, just a smidge bit of dirt along here. Now you're not gonna see the dirt, this is just a substructure for what I'm gonna do now, okay? So next thing here, I'm gonna put down a little bit of light blue carpet. So like we talked about, we're transitioning more into blue, and we wanna have more blue than the other colors in this area. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to see about sticking some cyan along here. There we go. So that is looking decent. Okay, so I'm gonna cut these blocks out like that, add a little bit more of the dark blue down there, and I think that is starting to look like what I'm trying to achieve, is by getting this little extra depth level here and not having to go down another block. Same with this pattern right here. We didn't have to go down a separate block, but we were able to have that extra little separation between the two colors. I think that looks pretty cool. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of open this up a little bit wider down here, and then we're gonna close it off and then have the red and blue and red and orange kind of flow over the side a little bit, almost as there's a little runoff going down the cliff. So I think that's pretty cool. Man, this is crazy, but it's fun. Like, this is something totally different, and it's fun. It's like exhilarating to really kind of come up with these crazy ideas really outside of the normal. And I just find this very fun. We built lots of cool little things, but they're relatively within the same kind of, boundaries that we always kind of work within. But this is something different. And welcome back, and look at our beautiful geyser and pool down below, looking absolutely stunning. And it is such a striking thing when you're, buzzing about, flying around, and you see that over in the corner of your eye. It is something very, very different from the rest of our landscape we have created in the area. And I think it is just, like I said, it's just like a striking thing. You're just really drawn to it, be the colors, the whites, and then transitioning into the reds, oranges, and yellows, and into turquoise. And I am absolutely loving this so far. I really think we're achieving what we set out for, is this Yellowstone inspired biome. And down at the pool, using the carpets as a slower transition down, so we had more room down below for some of the turquoise and blues. I think that has succeeded very well. Using the quartz along these edges has really softened some of the corners up, and it really breaks up some of the a little bit more of a cream that the bone block is. So I think that looks really nice. And yeah, a lot of work, but I'm very pleased with it so far. Let's take a look at some of these other areas over here. So I've made this little circle down. Okay, well, it's not exactly a circle. It's more like a bean. Okay, all right, we've established that I cannot draw circles. So this eventually will be a beautiful pool down here themed towards the Grand Prismatic Spring in Yellowstone. So I think that's gonna look really cool. So down here, I think it'll kind of spill out this way and a little bit that way. Maybe we can even add a little bit of the bone block kind of going around that corner. So I think that'll look really nice. Down over here, I think we're gonna build another, what? Oh, you sneaky cub. You sneaky cub. You come back around. I've got my anti-aircraft weapon ready to go. We love the cub. Anyway, so we have our, I think our turquoise pool right here. And we're going to have another turquoise pool on this side. I think it'll really complement the geyser. Now, this right here is going to be a slightly smaller geyser. Now, it wasn't me. It might have been Cubcam. Oh, Cubcam. Was it Cub? Cam? Was it Cubcam? Anyway, this spot will be another geyser. Now, I'm considering doing a second geyser maybe right there. I think it would complement the first one well. So yeah, that is my plan. And I have a question for you. What is your favorite kind of custom biome or landscape design that we've done? We've done, Ren Dog's, lush national park cliffs, where we built the cliffs around his base with the trees, the rock, and things. And then we have Wells Knight's, crystal cave that we built inside of his throne room. And then, of course, in Scarland, we have our Scarred Mountain that we just completed about a month ago. In Scarland, it's a beautiful, mountain with snow and all sorts of beautiful details. What is your favorite one of those? Let me know. I want to see a consensus, or at least kind of see which one of those you guys like the best. I'm just curious, but it's time. What time, you may be asking? Super fast build mode, and let's hit it. End of super fast build mode, and look at this incredible progress. We are about 50% done, but we've got our major pools complete. Now we have 2 more on this side, plus another geyser to go, and I think it's coming out absolutely fantastic. So let's take a little look at the immense amount of progress. Look at that eye. This is like 100 times better than the original one by the Sawmill. We might have to make some modifications over there. Look at this, very, very accurate to the actual Yellowstone pool that we were trying to replicate. How it has these kind of little like wings off to the sides. And I think that looks really cool because it's not like, I looked at it, like it has these low level kind of streams going off of it that are, you know, a little bit red, a little bit orange, and that's what I kind of did over in these little corners, and I think that came out really nice. And then prominently, you know, placed directly in the center, we have the turquoise and the blues, just as it does in real life. And I like this little back section for our geyser. Now, we need a name for this geyser. Like, you know, I don't want to call this one, you know, Old Faithful. This is like, I don't know. I want you guys to help me come up with a name for this geyser, because it's so kind of prominent now in the landscape here. So let's take one more look before we jump back into super fast build mode. And there it is. Oh, I think that's really cool. So hit it one more time. End of super fast build mode. I think we have gotten something really amazing. So let's pull back and take a look at our brand new sub biome here in the Mesa. I think this will go amazing if they added something like this to the Mesa biome. Like, tell me that's not the best idea, right? To add something like this, it'll go with that Bryce Canyon sub area that they sometimes generates inside of Mesas. I think the whole area looks absolutely beautiful. From the 3 geysers, there's a dormant one over in the corner. We have our pools down there looking absolutely beautiful. It's very similar to something you'd see in Yellowstone. You have Opal Pool, Grand Prismatic Pool. Ah, I love it. We need a name for the big geyser, by the way. We still need a name for that. Man, I want to go to Yellowstone. Really, really want to go to Yellowstone after building this. There's still more work to do, of course, in lots of little areas, but I think for the most part, this is looking super awesome. And if you've made it to the very end of the video to see the grand reveal, in the comments, type "cool pools, bro," just so I know that you made it to the end and you like the outcome of this entire project. And yeah, guys, I really hope you enjoyed today and this inspired you to maybe go out and create your own sub biome within Minecraft. And until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and I always really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. And if you believe the videos are a rating, that would be much appreciated. And until next time, we'll see you later. Wow, that's kind of cool from up here. Wow. All right, we'll see you later.